Need justice now! Need justice now! If we don't get it, shut it down!
This is Bishop Tavis Grant, the National Field Director for the Rainbow Push Coalition, and this is Action on the Field. We spent the past several days in Kenosha, Wisconsin, focused on mobilizing and organizing our partners and our allies as it relates to the trial of Kyle Rittenhouse. You know, this is the 16-year-old vigilante that shot 3 people and killed 2 of them and maimed 1 for life. And this case is so critical to the work of civil rights and social justice.
Shut it down! Say all the way down! All the way down! All the way down! All the way down!
In his closing argument, prosecutor Thomas Binger using drone video from the night of the shootings to highlight what he says was the critical moment on that fatal night. Kyle Rittenhouse out in the crowd of protesters putting down a fire extinguisher and raising his AR-15 rifle.
You're not allowed to run around and point your gun at people. This is the provocation. This is what starts this incident. You cannot claim self-defense against a danger you create.
It was Rittenhouse who was the real threat, Binger argued, mocking the defense claim that the teenager was acting in self-defense.
The crowd has the right to try and stop an active shooter. They have a right to protect themselves. The defendant is not the only one in the world who has the right to self-defense.
So I didn't do anything wrong. I defended myself.
Then, this dramatic moment. The now 18-year-old breaking down sobbing, unable to talk on the witness stand after he described encountering Rosenbaum, who he says was chasing him.
Mr. Rosenbaum was now running from my right side. And I was cornered from in front of me with Mr. Zeminski. And there were there were 3 people right there.
Kyle Rittenhouse injected himself. He provoked this entire story. And that's why there's got to be, I agree with Charles, they've got to tell a story. He started the story. The story didn't start and he just injected himself. He started the story. He is the one who set in motion this deadly rampage, really, that resulted in the death of 2 and the injury of 1 and endangering others. And I think that in closing, the prosecution was able to, for the first time in my impression, show how the defense of self-defense has very strong legal and factual holes. And that's the first time that I saw that. I did not see that at all in the course of the trial and in the course of the case in chief. And so it may have been a little late to do that, but they came with that during closing. And I think that that's going to resonate with the jury. Will it be enough? I'm not sure, because there was a lot of chaos that remains in the case that the defense managed to preserve. And they introduced that chaos early on. The videos, in some respects, from the prosecution standpoint, the video clips that they used clarified that self-defense was not really what happened, that Kyle, he was the provocateur. He provoked this, and he should not be able to then use self-defense when he started this, when he's the reason for this happening. I think that will resonate with the jurors. When the prosecution talked about when you have a fist fight, you don't need to bring an AR-15 to a fist fight. You don't need to bring that deadly weapon. I think that can resonate with the folks on the jury. Again, is it enough to overcome all of the other stuff? I'm not so sure, because it's coming at the 11th hour.
I want to thank all of our partners and all of our allies for joining us for days of protests and marching around the city of Kenosha to ensure that we get equal protection under the law. It's so fundamentally important that you understand, from Charlottesville, Virginia, to Brunswick, Georgia, to Kenosha, Wisconsin, all of these cases are intertwined as it relates to us fighting for justice, and fighting for you is what we do. Listen, go to rainbowpush.org, click the donate button, and join today. And guess what? It's our 50th anniversary. Happy anniversary, Rainbow Push And thank God for the work and legacy of Reverend Jesse Lewis Jackson. We are keeping hope alive.